Live in the salon with Benita and Rita. Welcome. Get a glass of wine and get comfortable. You will be empowered, inspired, and will definitely have a little fun. Hey, you may even learn something new. In the salon, we host community conversations, so all voices are appreciated. We hope you will enjoy the show. Cheers. Hi, welcome to Live in the Salon with Benita and Rita. I'm Benita.
And I am Rita.
As you can see, we are not in the Culture Mix Radio studio today. We're in an amazing place with this beautiful guest, but I'm going to bow to my friend Rita so you can formally introduce her.
Thank you very much. I'm really excited about this because, as Benita says, we're starting to move out into the community, and we want you, whether you live in Richmond, whether you live in Virginia, whether you live anywhere in the world, to see some of the wonderful buildings and institutions that we have. So let me get started. Today's guest is a visionary leader, a cultural strategist, and one of the most respected voices in the museum and public history world. Shakia Gullette Warren is the president and executive director of the Black History Museum and Cultural Center of Virginia in Richmond, where she leads the charge to preserve, celebrate, and elevate the stories, achievements, and legacy of African Americans across the Commonwealth. Under her leadership, the museum has expanded its reach, strengthened its community partnerships, and become an even more powerful hub for history, culture, and conversation. Shakia is known in the National Museum community for her brilliance, creativity, and commitment to truth-telling through storytelling. She began her career as curator of exhibitions at the Banneker Douglas Museum in Maryland, where she designed powerful exhibitions, including untold stories such as Athletes of Maryland's 4 HBCUs. She later served as the founding director of the African American History Initiative at the Missouri Historical Society, where she launched innovative programming focused on race, identity, and intergenerational dialogue. A graduate of Fisk University with a degree in history, Shakia has continued to distinguish herself as a leader in her field. She is a certified interpretive guide, a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, I'm almost there, and an alum of the inaugural AAAM, Howard University Executive Training Program for Museum Professionals. She has been recognized nationally, including being named one of 25 African American leaders under 40. It is an honor to welcome to the conversation a woman who is shaping history even as she preserves it. I'm so happy to have Shakia Gullette Warren.
Welcome.
Yes, ma'am.
Goodness.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I know. Isn't that
It's
something
no way.
when you hear it? But you know what? We do so much that when somebody starts to talk about it, it's like, wow.
I did that?
Yeah. So that's why I wanted to read it, because I also know that you were, they did a nationwide search. They did a nationwide search to bring somebody here once Adele Johnson was gone. And so you are that person. Yeah, so welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, I got some questions.
Okay.
Dig right on in.
So what does Black history mean to you personally, and how does that meaning shape the way that you lead the museum?
Well, first and foremost, thank you both for having me on the show
absolutely.
today.
On the live.
The live
Yeah.
show today. Black history is really in the fabric of everything that I do. I was raised to honor Black history. I tell people, my grandfather was a pastor. I know everyone gets tired of hearing that, but that is really the foundational work of how I view Blackness. When I was growing up, we had a Black Bible. So all the characters in the book were Black. So from start to finish, all I ever knew was the beauty of Blackness, the beauty of Black stories. My grandfather also marched with Martin Luther King Jr. on Bloody Sunday. So preserving those stories has always been important. When he came back from the march, he sat his shoes on the mantle so that we would never forget what it took to get here.
Yeah.
So that's something that, and although that was my mom's story, she passed it down to me, and it's something that just really grounds the work that I do. I love Black people in a way that I feel like this is my calling. And I've done a lot of different things in the museum field, but particularly ensuring that stories are told from an intentional space that connect with the heart. So when people come in, they're able to see themselves, they see their grandparents, they see their aunts, their uncles, and to me that's the beauty of Black history. That's what makes it unique, that's what makes it beautiful. We're not monolithic, we don't have just one story. Our story started as Africans before we arrived in this nation, before we were even considered citizens. So that's the beauty of Black history, and I love every aspect of it.
Where'd you grow up?
I was born in White Plains, New York.
Okay.
So I grew up in Westchester. I went to Sleepy Hollow High School. Go
Is that what
Horsemen.
your granddaddy was? He was
My
there?
grandfather was the pastor of Mount Hope AME Zion Church in White Plains.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm a New Yorker.
Okay.
914. That's it. But I've lived all over. I went to school in Nashville. We lived in Atlanta. So my perspective on Blackness was really shaped by being in different Black communities throughout my life. And I know that one community looks at Blackness different from the way another community would look at it, just based on the special uniqueness of that community.
That's a whole deep conversation too about just the differences of living different places. And I haven't lived as many places as you, but I do see the difference of having lived in, grown up in Richmond. I lived in New Jersey for a little bit of time. And then Raleigh was even different, and now DC is different, and DC is going through its own change.
And like you said, we're not monolithic.
No.
We have so many personalities. We also have so many skills, which I love. And so just walking through here while we were waiting, and looking at the laborers here and the pride that they had when they say that we African Americans built this country with all of the different jobs that we had, and still we rise.
Right, and just speaking about the current exhibition, Bodies of Labor, that's that exhibition came about because we are making sure that we're very intentional about following ASALA's national theme that they give annually for Black History Month and for 2020.
Tell us what ASALA is.
So ASALA is the Association for the Study of African American Life and History, and it was actually founded by a native Virginia son, Carter G. Woodson, who is the father of Black history. So we make sure that we follow the national theme each year, and Bodies of Labor, African Americans in Labor was the 2025 theme. And just looking at what labor means to us as a people, we want to be intentional about reminding everyone when they think about Black history stories that we were selected for our special skills on the continent. And that is what brought us here. Our special, unique skills, our skills in ironwork, and our intellectual prowess and abilities is what brought us here. And I want to make sure that everyone knows that, the narrative that, including us, because we are the ones that need to internalize that and make sure that you know that about yourself. So when you walk in a room, your head is always held high.
Because other people know it.
Yeah, they know it.
They know it. They just don't want us
Which is
to
why they
know it.
resist.
Right.
That's good. Let me see, can I get another one in here? You've curated powerful exhibitions and launched integrated. How about I start again? You've curated powerful exhibitions and launched innovative programs across multiple states. What is one exhibition or project that changed you in the process of creating it?
Ooh, Rita.
Did you miss that one?
Let me chew on that.
Yeah. Because what I love is what changed you.
I am going to say the seat that I'm sitting in right now. I had this magical moment, and those that are close to me know, when I attended D'Angelo's funeral, everything that I was learning about Richmond, it came to a head in that moment, and just the quietness of his legacy. And it was something about that moment that I just realized how blessed I am to lead this institution in a transformational period. I've grown so much as a leader in 2.5 years sitting in this seat, and Richmond did that. I've grown in different spaces. I would say St. Louis is the space where I learned to really pull out the social justice aspect of my passion, and I'm currently working on a doctorate in social justice education. So it's always been there. I mean, I went to FISC. They teach you in a way that is social justice grounded. That's the foundation. You learn about John Lewis, you learn about W.E.B. Du Bois, and you can't help but want to mirror their legacy in your work. But coming to Richmond and really truly developing my leadership voice changed me.
Wow.
It changed me. I'm so honored to be here. I really am.
So good to hear.
Yeah, I'm so honored to be here.
That is so good to hear. Do we have time for one more?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do another one. Museums are evolving. How do you see the role of museums shifting in today's culture and social climate?
Yeah, we're not gonna finish that answer before we run out, but you got a few more minutes to start it, because that's another whole discussion.
That's a deep one. So I'm gonna put on my vice chair of the Association of African American Museums hat.
Okay.
And
I'm gonna be like Key and Peele over your shoulder. I'm gonna go ahead and give it the real translation. Go ahead.
And, you know, congratulations to being vice president. That's huge. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Thank you. But we are seeing when the Alliance of American Museums, they do surveys and they do finding reports annually. And as we were going into COVID, museums were the most trusted space across America. And I think now that number is going to move up.
Okay.
It's going to increase because you are seeing people that are hungry for truth in a time period where truth is trying to be snuffed out and strangled. So I think you're going to see museums, particularly Black museums, show up in different ways for community. So we are going back to the 1960s where the Black Museum movement started, and it birthed this legacy of Black museums and Black storytelling, and I think we're going back to that.
Okay.
We're returning back to our origin story.
So is there a challenge with, and maybe not with some of the museums that are mostly privately funded, but those that are getting money in this day? You know, we know these days are not forever, but in this day where funding is being cut for certain parts of our community, how are we overcoming that challenge?
Now that one it's a tough one because many museums across the country are impacted. So if you are a recipient of certain dollars, they don't want you to tell stories in a certain way. We have a very dear sister of mine right up the way in Charlottesville. She was selected for a National Humanities Grant, and they pulled back that funding because of the types of stories that she wanted to tell. So I think what we are seeing people that are stepping up silently. And again, it goes right back to the civil rights movement where people did not like what they were seeing because now we had the advent of television, right? So you were able to see what was happening in the Deep South and see how people were being hurt and impacted. So I think we're returning back to that, and people are starting to step up because they know the truth and they know how important it is to tell a full American story.
Okay, thank you for that.
And we can't be afraid.
We can't be afraid. We cannot be run by fear.
We cannot. So we need to take a quick break, ladies. So we're going to put a pin in this so important conversation, and we'll be right back with our guest Shakia Warren on the Live in the Salon with Benita and Rita. And we're back. We're live in the Salon with Benita and Rita and Miss Shakia Warren. And we're here at the beautiful Black History Museum and Cultural Center of Virginia.
Richmond, Virginia. So we're going to continue. I know you all are anxious to hear more. Your career has taken you from Maryland to Missouri to Virginia. What is a leadership lesson that you've learned along the way that you wish more people understood?
It's okay to make a mistake.
Yes.
It is okay to make a mistake. I think sometimes as leaders we get so caught up in making the right decisions. Because I mean, let's be honest, you are literally making decisions every millisecond
That's right.
of the day. And it's okay. It's okay. Give yourself some grace and you just do it all over again. But as long as you're coming from the right heart space, you're okay. Now, if you're not coming from the right heart space, you gotta figure that out. But it's okay.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna be okay. You don't have to be perfect every second of the day.
Most of the time we aren't going to be perfect,
And we're
period.
not. We're not.
And you
We're
had
not.
touched on just before the break, you had said we can't live in fear.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people feel like this mistake, the bottom is going to fall out.
Yes.
Those decisions are rare, for those that it's life or death, So we can take something from the mistake too. If
That's
it
right.
wasn't
That's
successful,
That's
but you
right.
take the lesson,
Yeah.
and sometimes the lesson goes farther
Yeah.
than whatever the success of that decision would have been.
Yes. And for me, when we talk about fear, I just say, when you start asking yourself, what if?
Yeah.
You're defeated.
Yeah.
What
That's it.
what if?
Yeah.
And I always say, well, what if?
Yeah.
You know? I mean, it's just how you just raise the tone of your
Yeah.
voice, because none of us knows. None of us knows
Right.
any of it. So yeah. Okay. You're known for your deep commitment to storytelling. How do you decide which stories to elevate, especially when so many remain untold?
That's another good question. That one is tough. When I was curating exhibitions, I would always know based on what the community, wherever I was in that space, what the community wanted to hear. And if I was constantly going somewhere and they were saying, we have all of these pro NFL folks that went to the University of Maryland Eastern Shore, or that went to Coppin State, or that went to Morgan State, and nobody knows who they are. And then you keep going out and you keep hearing it,
Yeah.
and you're like, all right, let me do a little research, let me see what the numbers are. And then I would, try to find funding. And then you make the exhibit happen. So I would say that's an important part of it. And then sometimes someone will just bring you such an undeniably good story that you just have to go with it.
And you just go down the
you-
rabbit hole, studying and
just
researching.
have to go with it.
Like what, Shakia? Because I was going to ask, how can people get involved, and who's got something at home that they don't even realize is a gem?
Yeah. So we are an actively collecting institution too, but we're very grateful to have our Director of Curatorial Services, Mary Lauderdale, who has been sitting in the seat for many, many years, over 26 years with this institution. And sometimes we'll get people that just send stuff in the mail. Sometimes we can't accept it because it doesn't necessarily align with what the collecting initiative is, but we always maintain those relationships because you never know. People are sitting on treasure troves, and someone will pass away, and they
sometimes
don't
we don't
know
know
what
what
to
we
do
have.
with it.
We don't know what
you
it
don't
is.
know that it's a
Yes.
gold mine
Yes.
until you bring it in. So
Yeah.
we're always encouraging people, and even when we're out in community and just doing public events, people will come up and say, I have this.
Yeah.
Is this something that I can? Yeah, absolutely. We want to make sure that we're telling your family's story, specifically if it's a Virginia story.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that your voice is being heard, that you come in, you let us know that this is what you're looking at, this is what you found, and either myself or Mary, mostly Mary, will tell you, this doesn't necessarily fit, but we like this. And we also do pop-up exhibitions. So the pop-up that's out there is about the Black Catholic Church in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
So those exhibitions stay up for about 30 days, and those typically come directly from the community.
Mhm.
Like if it doesn't fit within the story that we want to tell in either of our galleries, we're able to do a 30-day pop-up. And that's another way that we continue to give access to community so that those stories continue to be told.
Good.
So when you talk about community, you came to Richmond during the pandemic, after the museum had lost a great leader, and you really didn't know the community. So what was that transition like for you?
That's a good question.
That transition was interesting. And like I said, every community is different. And Richmond does not play about her history.
Right.
Richmond does not play. So you have to want to learn. And I think that's the one thing that I've learned in doing any type of museum community engagement work. You gotta get a feel for the community first to see what's important to them. Again, using St. Louis as, I would say, the proving ground. I was there post Mike Brown. So this was a community that was still reeling from police-involved murder.
Yeah.
And what I had to create and deliver for them was healing in a way that made sense for them. When I got to Richmond, it was visibility. It was what is BHMBA doing? And we're still working out the kinks. We're still repairing relationships and creating new relationships. But it's about what is the visibility? What are the stories that BHMBA is telling that makes BHMBA relevant? And that is a part of the strategic leadership vision that we have been doing since I got here. But it's about understanding your community. You have to, because you don't want to constantly be at odds with the community.
I want to grab a little bit more of that, of what Benita just asked. Talk a little bit about Jackson Ward. Tell folks where we are situated in the city of Richmond right now.
We are situated in one of the original Black Wall Streets. So everyone always looks at Tulsa.
Yes, they do.
And I will say, Tulsa has done a really great job of maintaining that narrative, but the horrific nature of what took place in Tulsa also kind of galvanized the community to make sure that people never forgot.
Right.
And I think the beauty and the uniqueness of Richmond, particularly Jackson Ward, are the buildings that are still here. 2nd Street, knowing that all of these businesses, that this was a self-sustaining and thriving entrepreneurial hub that revels no other place. I mean, you have Chocolate City, you have DC, you have all of these places that were just like Richmond, right? And I think that is the beauty of Jackson Ward, is making sure that people understand that there were multiple Black Wall Streets. And we are sitting in a building that the main advocate, John Mitchell Jr., made sure that this building existed for Black bodies, for Black people. I tell everyone when they come in here, this space is a sacred space because it was intentionally built for Black people. So you honor that space when you come in here, because the bricklayer was a Black man, right? So this space was to make sure that we are going to continue to fight to have our stories being told. So,
and we were part of the Chitlin Circuit.
And we were a part of all the circuits.
Yeah.
Richmond was a part of all the circuits. If you could cut your teeth here, if you could make it here, you could make it anywhere.
That's good. And we, the Hippodrome is still there, and that was an old movie theater. I mean, it really is fascinating when you just walk around here. So, of course, we invite any and everybody to come to Richmond. Come see us. Because
Richmond is the place to be.
Yeah,
and Richmond really is the place to be.
We're building. You can look out the window and you can see the different buildings that are being. So it's a fascinating place. So
it's Jackson Ward is beautiful.
It is.
I love just walking.
And Maggie Walker.
Yeah, Maggie Walker right down the street. So
her home is still preserved.
And I like the way that just being in here, this space right here. Every painting down this corridor is like a Richmond son or daughter. And so that's very important that our museums show off, what we have to. And we are a city, first I'm gonna brag on our city, but then us as a people, but we are a city that's rich in talent.
Yeah.
In Richmond, and we're thriving, and just that's who we are.
Yeah.
I think as a people anyway.
Yeah.
Rita and I not too long ago had the opportunity to interview Sir James Thornhill,
Right.
and so James is a great artist, but
Yeah.
he's a phenomenal storyteller
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
And he talked about this series he has, like all of them have hinges and like door handles. He called it the Gatekeeper series because we have these stories,
Yeah.
and we keep them, but we got to tell them
Yeah,
too, so
yeah.
we can keep passing them down.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
will say just a special shout out to him. That portrait right there, that really tells the story of arriving to America, what our service
Right.
looks like. And I don't know if that's a part of that series.
That's
that you
Ross
mentioned.
Brown.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Ross there.
Mhm.
Okay, I think he's
Yeah.
inside.
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he,
We'll find it, because
we'll
we
Yeah.
want
find
to
it.
get
I
a
think it's
picture of
in
it.
here
Yeah.
so you can make the connection. Yeah.
Oh, this, and one is Ross's. That,
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
and oftentimes it's just somebody that I knew his mom when he was this
Wow.
big.
Yeah.
And now you said Ross, I'm like, oh yeah, they're
Yeah.
grown people.
Yeah.
They're grown.
People, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, as the museum expands its reach, what excites you most about the future of the Black History Museum? This one in particular, but
I'm excited about so many different things. We still have our anchor location, Double O Clay, and I am excited
Oh.
to open that to the public soon.
Oh,
Within the
wow.
next 5
Yeah.
years. This is a
that
part
was
of
the
the
address.
culture. Yeah.
That was the
Yeah, right
address.
next
Yeah.
door.
Uh-huh.
I live 6 doors down.
Yeah.
And really having that as a research hub, I tell everyone that BHMBA has a beautiful rare books collection that has really never been seen by the public. So as we're talking about information that is being kind of strangled out, we have all of these original books that the community has never had access to, and
Okay.
we want to make sure that we're conserving them. So we have to do just some work within our collections, and I want to give a nod to the Virginia Museum of History and Culture. We've been working with them for the past 3 years on digitizing our collection.
Good,
So
good.
there's a lot.
That's a good relationship.
Yeah, it's
Very
a great
good.
relationship, and they've been a great partner in making sure that we have all of these documents and photographs and objects that are now being digitized so that the public can access them. So I'm excited
Excellent.
about seeing that project through,
It's
so that
amazing.
community has an entree into what BHMBA has to offer.
Okay,
Yeah,
That's
really
great.
excited about that.
that's
That's
great.
really good.
Yeah.
So thank you. We got to take another break, all right? So y'all hang in right there and be right back.
Yeah, we're not done.
Yep. And we're back. We're live in the salon with Benita and Rita and Miss Shakia Warren of the Black History Museum and Cultural Center of Virginia. Phew.
That was a long time.
And we are learning as we go. I mean, which is what I love about when Benita and I do this show. This is live in the salon, and we have, really amazing guests that we're like, well, I know her, let's have her. And then the next thing you know, it's just, we've just got great folks. So, what do you want young people to feel or understand after spending time in the museum?
Themselves. I want them to feel themselves. I want them to be able to look at images or interact with some of our exhibitions, the interactives downstairs, and look at themselves differently. We all think about that teacher that had that great impact on us. For some of us, it's institutions. I can remember the first museum that I went into, or the first historic site that I went into with my family, and how it made me feel like, wow, we did that. Like that's a part of American history. So I want children to really feel themselves in a different way and be
That's
proud
good.
of who they are.
Yeah.
Be proud.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Do you have a teacher or an institution? I just was wondering. Yeah.
I've got a few, but
Uh-huh.
the teacher that really influenced me in becoming a history major, Professor Linda T. Wynn. Ooh, and she is still around and she still don't play. She
Of course
does
she
not.
doesn't
She
play.
does
Is
not
she at
play. She's at
Okay.
FIS. Yeah, and I actually went to FIS pre-med. I wanted to be a gynecologist.
Really?
Okay.
Because Meharry Medical is right
Yeah.
across the street. I wanted to be a gynecologist. And I took that class with her, and that's all she wrote.
No.
And it changed your whole
It
everything.
changed everything. Everyone's like, how
that's
you
so
gonna make
interesting
how you gonna
conversation
make
with your
history a
parents.
career?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
it
did you
was
know
it
with
was
your
very
parents?
interesting.
We sent you to school to be a doctor.
It
and
was
you come.
very interesting.
You come talk about
Yeah,
history.
yeah, because my
Mhm.
grandfather went to Wilberforce, my mom went to Clark. What you mean?
Yeah. What you mean?
What do you mean? History. You gonna be a lawyer? No, I'm not. I'm gonna figure this out. I said I'm gonna teach black kids.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I'm gonna teach black kids.
Okay.
I'm gonna teach at HBCUs. And I ended up in museums.
This is beautiful though.
Yeah.
It
Full
is.
circle.
Yeah,
It is
and that's
full
some
circle.
bravery.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's bravery.
Yeah.
And for kids, we never know what they're thinking and what they're hearing. So
Yeah.
you may not hear for 40 years
Yes.
until somebody calls you up
Yes.
and say, I came to the Black History Museum
Uh-huh.
and it changed my life.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
we have to keep doing what we're doing. Yeah.
We do.
And it's the legacy. It's
Yeah.
your legacy.
Yeah. We're
Mhm.
called to do this work. Everyone is called to do something
I agree.
special and unique for the purpose that God has for you.
Let me ask this before I go to this final question. Did you have any reservations about coming to Richmond?
Yes.
Okay.
I was a newlywed. I had been married a year and a half, and my husband and I had already moved back to Maryland. So I was like, oh gosh, we're new in our marriage. Oh, we're moving again. What is this gonna be like? So that was my biggest reservation that I had.
Mhm.
But I was excited because all roads always leads back to Virginia.
Okay.
So every story connects back to Virginia.
Mhm.
3 out of 5 African Americans can trace their lineage to
Yes.
Virginia.
And you hear that
This-
a lot.
this
Just
is-
meeting people.
yeah, This is the
Yeah.
start of it. So all of the people of Carter G. Woodson, Hampton, I mean, the oldest Black History Museum is here in Virginia. It's on the campus of Hampton University. So everything that I've known about history, all roads always lead back to Virginia.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
Tucker family. Didn't we talk
And the
about
Tucker
that?
family.
The Tucker family.
Yeah,
They landed
Mhm.
in Hampton.
One of those
Yeah.
the first of the 19 families
That's right.
that arrived here in
Yeah.
Virginia.
Yeah. And
So-
he has a business.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's very
it's
cool.
everything leads back to Virginia. So I was excited for that, but the
Okay.
hesitation was, "You're a newlywed girl. What you doing?" So that was the
But
hesitation.
apparently it's worked out.
It has worked out, and my husband and I bought a home here.
Good.
We're invested.
I love
We
it.
are invested.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, one more question.
Okay.
You are a leader,
Yes.
a curator,
Yeah.
a historian,
Ooh.
and a cultural advocate. What practices keep you grounded, inspired, and spiritually aligned while doing such important work? You don't have to get that,
Oof.
but I love the question.
Yeah. Journaling.
Okay.
Journaling is a big one. I listen to sermons in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to gospel all day here.
Okay.
Praise God. That's why you heard me.
Yeah.
I know you thought that was hip hop.
Yeah, you came in a little loud. You came around that corner a little loud.
I'm still a millennial. There are some things I just it's who I am. But music is really it's a big part of it too. It keeps me energized. And prayer.
Yeah.
Prayer. That
Yeah.
prayer is a big one. Waking up 3 a.m. or whenever he wakes me up and you just go pray.
Yeah.
But I would say that's some deep
That's-
grounding. And I touch trees.
Mm-hmm.
I touch trees. There's something about the energy and the rootedness.
Is the
It's the
Yeah,
earth.
do you go
Yeah.
barefoot?
Yeah.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
I go
Yeah.
barefoot.
Yeah.
And I've got a tree where we're cutting one down because she's covered in ivy.
Mm-hmm.
So and I told my husband, well, don't touch that.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, we can get rid of that one,
Mm-hmm.
but the trees have to stay. So
Mhm.
trees are big.
Mhm.
And sometimes when I can, I try to do like outdoor yoga. Like I like to listen to the
Mhm.
sounds of just the earth. So I'm big on that.
Mhm.
And the moon. Gosh, I feel like I'm telling y'all all my business.
Well,
here.
that's good though, because
But,
somebody
yeah,
needs
that's
to
it.
hear.
But it's
I'm
good.
big on silent, being
Yeah.
silent. So
Yeah.
And journaling.
yeah, and
Yeah.
journaling,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I just sit on the back porch. Sometimes I'll wait for it to get really dark and I just look up at the
Mhm.
stars and the
Mhm.
moon. And I just like to hear the stillness.
That's grounded.
It's the
It
stillness.
is, and
Yeah.
when people actually hear it,
Mhm.
it's like, wow,
Yeah.
I don't hear anything.
Yeah, I don't hear anything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So,
good.
Yeah,
Good, we
that's
haven't had that conversation.
yeah,
I'm glad
yeah,
you do that.
that's my practice and going for walks.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
but trees, gotta touch them. You gotta
Yeah,
touch
I'm
them.
big on that too. During the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
I was a caregiver, so that's its own challenge.
Yeah.
I wasn't working. That's another challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm separated from what I like to do,
Yeah. Yeah.
people and parties and
Mhm.
stuff like that. So I'm separated. So I started a garden because it was something about putting my hand in that dirt
Yeah.
made
Yeah.
me feel closer to
Mhm.
the creator,
Mm-hmm.
and and I'm producing life,
Yeah.
while other things around me are
Yeah.
are dying
Yeah.
or going away. I'm
Yes.
producing life with this.
Mm.
So I felt that was my
Yeah.
grounding and kept me
Yeah.
connected.
It's something beautiful about it.
Yeah.
It's
That
beautiful.
is so good, you guys. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
That was. I saved that question for last because I wanted people to remember, if nothing else,
Yeah.
how we stay grounded.
Yeah.
You know,
So
which is why our voices our voices aren't really loud
I
as
know.
we're talking.
Yeah.
We're just having, this is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you
Yeah.
got, Benita?
And I'm trusting that it can be heard because like half of my brain is here with y'all, my others is technical. Can we be heard over here? But I have some rapid fire questions
Yes.
for you.
Let's do
Ready to
it.
go?
I'm ready.
All right. What's a book you believe everyone should read at least once?
The coldest winter ever. Sister Soldier.
I read that. I'm still in love with Midnight.
Yeah.
Talk to
Yeah.
me, ladies.
Still in
Talk
love.
to me.
It was like the
Yeah.
thing when we lived in the 90s.
Yeah.
The Coldest Winter Ever, written by
Yeah.
Sister Soldier, who was
Oh.
a rapper, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's more of an advocate now.
Cultural
But
activist,
yes, that
yeah.
was a
You gotta read that book once.
yeah, at least once.
It's
Yes,
it's a
yes.
cultural
Yes.
cultural icon. Gotta read
Yes.
that book once.
All right, your favorite museum other than your own.
Now that's a good one. I'm gonna deviate a little bit.
Okay.
The Anne Frank House in Amsterdam.
Okay.
That museum, I know y'all looking like, huh?
No. No, I was there when I was young.
Yeah. That was the first museum that I felt healing,
Mm-hmm.
because there were no objects. So it was all memory based and it was an experience.
Mhm.
So that museum had a deep impact on me.
Yeah.
It made me cry.
Oh.
It did. It made me cry.
A historical figure you love to have dinner with.
Hmm.
Again. Again.
So many. There's so many.
We'll give you two.
Okay. Thank you for giving me two. Ida B. Wells. The Dear Sister Ida. And John Hope Franklin.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
One word that describes your leadership style.
Strategic.
Great word.
Good word.
A song that instantly puts you in a good mood.
Float On, Janelle Monáe.
Okay. Girl, I'm ready for you to say like, "Oh, happy day." She go Janelle Monáe. Okay. Your go-to self-care ritual after a long day.
Ooh, a nice face scrub and my teeth whitening strips. And I like to put
Are we ready for this?
y'all are taking me there.
All right, let's go.
Tea bags, frozen tea bags.
Uh-huh.
So I'm
Put 'em in your
big
eyes.
on the frozen tea
Oh, I need to
bags.
do that.
Mhm.
And I also have my diffuser, so you'll catch me with either some jasmine or some lemongrass. Lemongrass is my
Okay.
favorite essential oil.
Okay,
And I just kind of sit
I like
after
that.
my face is clean,
That's good.
and my teeth are a little whiter.
Yes.
Because I'm a coffee drinker.
I love a clean face too. I will. I'm coffee and red wine. So
Yes, so you gotta,
yeah, you gotta
you
do
know,
some extra.
You gotta keep the pearly whites, pearly
What's
whites.
one
Dr.
thing-
Joe Busey.
Yes. What's one thing people would be surprised to learn about you?
That I'm a nurturer.
Ah,
I'm a big time nurturer, and I'm just now leaning into that space. I've always been a big sister. I have my siblings and we have large gaps. So I am 17 years older than my youngest brother, and then I'm 13 years younger than my
Okay.
youngest sister. So I've always been in a mothering role, and for a long time it didn't feel appropriate to say second mother because I always thought that was an insult to my mom. But
Mhm.
now I'm leaning in
Mhm.
now that they are
Mhm.
older,
Mhm.
and they're like, thank you for
yeah.
being
Stepping
that
in.
for
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
So
That's good.
I'm a big nurturer, big nurturer. Yeah.
Okay. How you eat your grits?
How do you do
Salt.
what?
Eat
Salt,
your
pepper,
grits.
cheese. Salt, pepper, cheese. No sugar over here. That
That's
is,
what I had this morning.
you put sugar in it?
No.
Salt
I
and
like
salt
sugar
and
in my
pepper.
grits.
Pepper grits, no.
No, that is, if you gonna put sugar in your
I
grits,
don't know where
you
that
might
comes
as well
from.
eat cream of wheat.
Anti-way. And I like them a little lumpy.
Now, I like my cream of wheat lump.
Okay.
I support you there with the lumps.
Okay,
If
what's
you
bringing
eat
you
sugar
joy
from
right
your
now?
grits, you should have. Now that is wild. You should just have cream of wheat.
That just eat the cream of wheat.
Nobody eat shrimp and cream of wheat.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
What's bringing you joy right now?
This work. This
And-
work.
And last question, we gotta wrap up. Finish the sentence. Black history is.
Immovable.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's so strong.
You should
That's so strong.
right there.
Time to go.
Oh
We
my
want to thank y'all for tuning
goodness.
in to Live in the Salon with Benita and Rita. Thank you, Shakia,
Thank you
for
for
being
having
here.
me.
Thank you for hosting us at BHMV.
VA.
CCVA, right? All-
Yeah.
Thank you for supporting the Cultural Mix Radio Studio, and we'll see you next week.
And don't
Cheers.
forget to subscribe to our YouTube channels.
Bye.
Bye bye.